Okay, properties and uses of aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes with 1 to 2 carbon atom are gases. Those with 3 to 11 carbon atoms in a straight chain, aldehydes are liquids, and higher aldehydes are solids. Constitutional isomers could also exist for aldehydes and ketones. It could either be both are aldehydes, so it could pwede silang maging isomers. Both are ketones, pwede rin silang maging isomer, and one aldehyde could be an isomer of one ketone, so pwede rin. So let's see this butanol and 2-methyl propanol. Butanol will have 4 carbon atoms with a carbonyl at the first carbon atom. So this one would be CH2, and then the ending is CH3, just to meet the 4-bond requirement. So collectively, butanol will have C4. So this is 3. So collectively, butanol is C4, there are 4 carbon atoms, H8, and an O, 1 oxygen. Okay? For 2-methyl propanol, prop means there are only 3 carbon atoms. So erase lang natin yung isa dito. So the parent chain has 3 carbon atoms. This one will become 3. So that's propanol. However, on the second carbon atom merong siyang attachment na methyl. So tanggalin natin yung isang hydrogen and dito natin i-attach yung isang methyl. Okay. So this is now the structure of 2-methyl propanol. Looking at it, there are also 4 carbon atoms, so that's C4, and HR8 with 1 oxygen. So with this, butanol and 2-methyl propanol are isomers. Okay, tingnan natin naman itong propanol and propanone. Propanol will have 3 carbon atoms. So that would be CH3, CH2, C double bond OH. And propanone will have 3 carbon atoms. However, the carbonyl group is attached on the middle. So looking at it, parehas silang 3 carbon atoms. Hydrogen is 6 then, and 1 oxygen. So with this same count of carbon atoms, hydrogen and oxygen, that makes them an isomer. Okay. Isomers, aldehydes and ketones can be produced from the oxidation of primary and secondary alcohols using an oxidizing agent known as potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate. Okay, so primary alcohol will be oxidized to an aldehyde. So this carbon bearing the hydroxyl group will turn into a carbonyl. Same is true for the secondary alcohol. The carbonyl and the hydroxyl group will be oxidized to become carbonyl. Okay? So, recall natin, we had discussed this oxidation reaction in the alcohol video. Formaldehyde is the simplest aldehyde, and actually this is being incorporated in water so as to produce the formalin. Formalin has 37 formaldehyde by mass or 40% by volume. Pag sinabing 37% formaldehyde, the 37 parts is formaldehyde and the other parts is water. And we all know that formalin is used to preserve biological specimens. Okay? Acetone, on the other hand, is the simplest ketone, and we all know that they are used for nail polish removers. They are colorless, volatile, ibig sabihin they are easily evaporate. So we also have aldehydes and ketones in nature. So we have vanillin, asaan ang aldehyde part niya ito. The benzene ring with the carbonyl. Okay, so that is benzaldehyde with a methoxy and hydroxyl. Vanillin is used as vanilla flavoring. Benzaldehyde, so still an aldehyde, it is an almond flavoring. Cinnamaldehyde, it is a cinnamon flavoring. This is the aldehyde part. Okay, we also have 2-heptanone, which is the clove flavoring. This time, this is a ketone. It has R here. Ito yung dalawang R niya. Okay. Butane-dione, a butter flavoring. So this is a dione, dalawang carbonyl group in between two alkyl groups. And a carvone, this is a spearmint flavoring. This is a ketone. Okay, so may functional group silang ketone. We also have testosterone. Ito naman yung kanyang ketone part. So that is the hormone that controls the development of male sex characteristics. Progesterone. So dalawa yung ketone part nitong progesterone. These are the hormones secreted during the time of ovulation in females. And cortisone. So these are the ketone part of cortisone, and they are hormones from adrenal glands that is used to medically relieve inflammations. Sige na, open ka na. So the product of reduction is an alcohol. Okay, now we also have primary alcohol for this case. Primary kasi nga, itong carbon atom that bears the hydroxyl has only one other carbon atom being attached on it. So primary siya. For the reduction of a ketone, so the carbonyl, ganun pa rin yung ating mechanism. The carbonyl double bond will be broken and become single bond. Okay, with that breaking of bond, magkakaroon na ng free bond for hydrogen to for oxygen to accommodate the hydrogen, and another free bond for carbon atom still to accommodate the hydrogen. Now that propanone will then become 2-propanol. Okay, so because of the production of alcohol, the carbonyl group has been converted into a carbon-containing hydroxyl. So, carbonyl group, the C double bond O ay naging carbon atom bearing a hydroxyl. Okay? The third is the reaction of aldehydes and ketones with alcohol. So, aldehyde or ketone plus an alcohol with a specific acid and catalyst, we are going to produce hemiacetal. Upon further reaction, this hemiacetal could react with another carbon atom. Okay, so yan yung hemiacetal. Will now produce acetal. Ano ba itong hemiacetal na sinasabi? Hemiacetals are organic compounds with a carbon atom bonded to hydroxyl and a alkoxy group. So, ang hemiacetal daw ay organic compounds na may carbon atom. That carbon atom should bear a hydroxyl and an alkoxy. Alkoxy is the OR. Okay, so The mechanism here for the hemiacetal formation, a reaction between aldehyde and an alcohol. So, ang mechanism is just an addition reaction. So, first, the double bond in the carbonyl will be broken. So, free bond for oxygen and carbon atom is made. The hydrogen coming from the hydroxyl of the alcohol, ito yon, will be attached to the oxygen of the aldehyde. Kaya ito. And the remaining alkoxy part of the alcohol will be attached to the carbon atom of the aldehyde. Okay? So, that is the hemiacetal formation. Ganon din pag ketone. Okay, for ketone, since nakasandwich ang carbonyl group in between two alkyls, but the mechanism will still be the same. The carbonyl double bond will be broken into single bond, giving oxygen and carbon atom a free bond. That free bond will be the site kung saan i-attach yung hydrogen ng hydroxyl group sa alcohol. And the remaining part, which is the alkoxy, will be attached on the free bond of the carbon in the carbonyl, previous carbonyl part. Okay? So, hemiacetal pa rin siya kasi meron itong carbon atom bearing hydroxyl and a alkoxy. Okay? So, that same carbon atom will bear the hydroxyl group and the alkoxy group. Hemiacetal. Now, what about for acetal formation? So, acetal formation is the reaction between hemiacetal and an alcohol. So, this type is a condensation reaction wherein meron ng mariremove na water from the water molecules from these two reactants. So, paano ito? The hydroxyl from the hemiacetal will be removed and the hydrogen of the hydroxyl group in the alcohol will be removed and they're going to form water. Okay? This alkoxy group of the alcohol will replace the hydroxyl group in the hemiacetal structure. So, pinalitan lang niya. Okay, so nagpalitan lang yung hydroxyl ng hemiacetal at yung alkoxy ng alcohol group. Okay, so since the hydroxyl in the hemiacetal has been replaced by another alkoxy, so therefore, all hemiacetal should have at least two alkoxy group bonded to a carbon atom. So, ulitin natin, ang hemiacetal may hydroxyl and one alkoxy bonded to a common carbon atom. However, for acetal, there's a specific carbon atom that bears at least two alkoxy group. Okay? Either there would be one alkyl group, pwede ring may hydrogen, pwede ring namang parehas na hydrogen or parehas na alkyl group. Okay, but the minimum requirement for it to be an acetal is two alkoxy group attached to a specific carbon atom. Okay, so let's classify if this acetal, hemiacetal, or neither. Okay, so ang hint here is you look for a carbon atom that contains both hydroxyl group and alkoxy for hemiacetal. For acetal naman, dalawang alkoxy. Okay. So, for this one, this is the carbon atom. Dito ang reference natin. Meron siyang hydroxyl group at meron din siyang alkoxy group. So therefore, this is a hemiacetal. This second example, this is an alkoxy, but this is attached on this carbon atom. The hydroxyl is here. Looking at it, the alkoxy and the hydroxyl are not attached to a same carbon atom. So therefore, this is not a hemiacetal nor an acetal. Okay, third example would be, so we have here the hydroxyl group, and this is the alkoxy. They are both connected to this carbon atom, so therefore that is hemiacetal. This is an alkoxy, another alkoxy, and they are connected to the same carbon atom, so therefore that is an acetal. Okay,